I like to eat, and I'm grateful for the intersection between spirituality and food. And so on Friday we spoke to Kamon Hines. We talked about entrepreneurship, and that's available on YouTube. Subscribe to Holder Ministries, the YouTube channel, and you can watch that. Um, so often in some denominations, there's an emphasis placed on diet and spirituality, and people assert that salvation is often related to what you eat. I don't know if they talk about that in your denomination, but they're doing some. But I don't believe that salvation is related to diet in the way that it's implied sometimes. And I mean, I don't know. I don't honestly know anything, but I do know, and I'm pretty sure that diet is linked to health. So today we're going to talk to James Brandon. He's a plant-based success coach. What does that even mean, man?
Yeah, it means that a lot of people are trying to move to a plant-based diet now, just because of all the science that's out there, and a lot of people had no idea where to start. So I've been helping people just naturally. I've been plant-based for about 8 years, and when I started, it was pretty difficult. I really didn't know what to do, really how to like maneuver through. The stages of kind of getting some momentum. So what I do is I help people that have the desire to make that transition, and
Okay.
just kind of hold their hand and help them to go all the way to thriving, from surviving to thriving, basically.
Awesome. That's great. So, success coach for those that choose to be plant-based.
Right.
That's cool. I'm plant-based, but only because I don't feel like going to buy meat. So if I went to the grocery store, I'd buy meat, but like I just eat the beans and rice and vegetables that are in my house.
So interesting that you say that. Like right now, especially during this coronavirus situation that we're dealing with, like anytime that I've been out, and I'm not out much, I am, staying at home. But whenever I've gone out to the grocery store to kind of just refresh and get a few more things that have been kind of depleted, primarily all of the produce, like all the produce section is abundant. Like everything is there. So all of the immune boosting foods are there. And then all of the immune compromising foods that are on the shelves, in packets or cans, as well as in the frozen section, as well as the meat and dairy section, all of those foods are gone. So people are, trying to, put themselves in the best position to, ward off any disease, except they're missing the main things that are right in front of them, which are all the plants.
Yeah, but and we'll talk about that in a second. You can give people advice, but I seen that on your Instagram. I was like, my produce section does not look like that. It's barren. It looks like a barren wasteland, and it gets restocked all the time.
Yeah. A few people kind of messaged me too, like, "Hey, where are you located?" Because ours doesn't look like that. So most of the people that message me are like in the northeast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess depending on the supply chains and stuff like that, different areas vary, but for the most part, a lot of people that I've spoken to across the United States have been like, that's the same. I'm on different forums. I have a Facebook group and things like that, and I'm kind of asking people how things are looking. And for the most part, the majority of them are saying similar to how it looks here. A lot of produce.
Well, cool. Let's get into it. So, oh man, I didn't write on the question. So, tell me about how you got into plant-based success coaching.
Yeah, for sure. So, it's definitely a passion of mine, right? So, I am happy that this is something that I'm able to do because I love doing it. So in 2004, my father was diagnosed with cancer stage 4, and all of my family's in the medical field. Well, when I mean all my family, I mean my mom's side of the family. So my mom has 11 brothers and sisters that came from the islands, and they all did nursing, medicine, just like a good, island,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
they
If you're
all they
not a
all did that.
doctor, that's not.
Right. They either had the choice, right?
Yeah.
Accountant, engineer, or nurse or doctor, right? Those are the only things.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had their own medical practice in Alabama, and my father ended up getting cancer. Everyone was, pretty shocked, right? It kind of came out of nowhere. He never had really
Yeah.
any issues before, and so kind of did this thing, did chemo, everything like that, and God definitely blessed him, and he was able to really fight it, and able to
Yeah.
extend that fight for a while. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
he passed away in 2008, and that's when my journey kind of started about trying to understand the relationship between um, some of these like pharmaceuticals and health.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of where I went on. Then I kind of kept learning things and was like, wow, okay, so these pharmaceuticals do that to your body. Okay, well, what about like how does it counteract? And I just realized that a lot of these pharmaceuticals and things, they do more harm than good. And so I was
Mhm.
trying to find an alternate way, and I don't know, I felt like God led me to a lot of different information.
Yeah.
I was reading a lot. I was
Mhm.
consuming a lot of documentaries and things, just trying to understand, and
Yeah.
like the main like takeaway from everything as far as disease is primarily disease has to do with the condition of your body,
Mhm.
whether it's alkaline or acidic.
Okay.
So if you're acidic, so disease can't thrive in an alkaline environment, but it
Okay.
can thrive in an acidic environment. And
Okay.
then when you drill down and say, okay, what's acidic and what's alkaline? When you look
Yeah.
at that chart,
Yeah.
there's all the plant-based sources are alkaline, right? They're
Yeah.
live, they're living, they give you
Yeah.
life. And on the acidic side is everything that is dead and processed, right? So all the meats and
Okay.
everything like that, they're dead. So it kind of makes sense, right? If you're eating
Yeah.
things that are alive, you're gonna feel alive. You eat things that are
Yeah.
dead, you're gonna feel. So that was kind of where my journey started after that incident within my family, and from
Okay.
then I've just been helping people along the way.
Awesome. So, um, this journey, even even though it's not intentional, I'm sure you'd prefer to be chilling in your house with your dad and with your family all well than to be where you are now. But
Right,
that's not the way God works. and
right.
and yeah, it sounds ugly, but it's a blessing in the end, right? Well,
Yeah,
even though it's sad when people die, well, we're not promised forever. Yeah,
yeah.
and
I I don't think that I would have the passion that I have about it if I didn't have that life
hmm
experience. Because
yeah,
previously, like I said, previously, I wasn't plant based, and it still took me a few years after his death to fully become plant based. But
yeah,
like when I share people, when I help people, it comes from a place of, listen, like I want you to be there for your family. I want you to
yeah,
be there for your kids, right? Like I don't have that
yeah,
luxury anymore, but
yeah,
like it's not. It comes from a place of like
yeah,
I want to be able to pay it forward, right? So that
yeah,
you can have what I don't have, but I'm
yeah,
willing to use that my experience
exactly,
to
yeah,
help other people, which I feel like in life, if you trust God, the word says all things work together for the good of those that love him. So you have to understand that things happen, but
hmm
it's like what do we draw from that, and how do we move forward, and how are we still able to bless others? Um, because things happen to everyone, right? The rain falls on the
yeah,
just and the unjust, right? So things
yeah,
happen to everyone, whether you believe in God or don't, right?
yeah,
Right now, people lost their job that love God. People lost their job that wake up and curse God to his face. So like, it doesn't really matter. Life happens, but it kind of depends, like, you know, how you move forward and what you're going to do, you know, to kind of redeem some of the situations that, you know, God's put you through.
And I think that serving God, it kind of allowed you to turn your passion and your pain into praise. You know, if you don't serve God, you know, that's just a pain, that's just a loss. You can't explain why it happened, but because you serve God, you can convert that pain into passion. And I think that praise often comes from a pain point or a struggle, and that's when praise is most genuine. So what do you think this being plant-based, your whole situation, your experience has revealed to you about God?
Yeah, so I mean, the main thing is this, right? So you so you know, as someone who believes in scripture, as someone who believes in the Bible, you know, you understand that, you know, God's original diet for mankind was a plant-based diet, right? God's original diet, right? So everything was perfect, and God said, "Listen, I created a space for you to live in. I created, you know, community. You know, Adam and Eve. I give you a companion, and I'm also gonna give you what to eat. And the things that you eat, they'll be healing for you. They'll be beneficial for you. And you know that it's my original design for you. So when you kind of go back, because now science is now catching up with that. So now people are saying, oh wow, maybe this plant-based diet is beneficial. And now you see that, you know, it's healing, you know, all these different diseases, you know, chronic diseases like, you know, high blood pressure and obesity and diabetes and, you know, hypertension, all these different things that we bring onto ourselves. They're called lifestyle diseases because we get them because of our lifestyle, because of how we consume. Exactly. So I think that just kind of knowing that, you know, God's original intent was for us to be healthy, was for us to be happy, was for us to be whole. He kind of gave us the blueprint. And now it's kind of coming back around full circle, and it's kind of becoming more popular. So to me, it just shows me about God's love, right? Like, God loves us. He wants us to win. He wants us to thrive. He did give us that original diet, and then you understand later on, you know, after, you know, based on scripture, after the flood, after Noah's Ark and the flood, there was no vegetation because the flood had wiped the earth of everything. So it was at that point that God said, okay, you know, you can consume, you know, meat and things at that time, but only a specific type. Has to be, you know, no blood, no fat, like so it was specific, but that was really only supposed to be temporary until everything came back. So yeah, I mean, just God, you know, showing his original intent, you know, him making the provisions, but wanting to kind of us to get back to that, you know what I'm saying, so that we can thrive.
Cool. So two more questions. So give me three main benefits of being plant-based, especially in a time like we are now.
Yeah, for sure. So there are a million benefits of being plant-based. So increased immunity. So like I was sharing with you earlier, you know, stocking up on that vitamin C, right? Those, you know, oranges and all citrus, right? Oranges, lemons, limes, even strawberries have a lot of vitamin C. So, you know, a lot of people going back to, you know, home remedies, right? With elderberries and things like that, try and get healthy. So, you know, that's a benefit, right? Just strengthening the immune system. But there's so many benefits, right? There's, you know, clearing the brain fog that's just been in your mind for so long, right? You know, clearing, having clear skin, this, you know, losing weight naturally, having your weight kind of balance itself out. not feeling so heavy after you eat your meals, because your meals are full of, vibrant, plant foods, that don't weigh you down, but actually, you're full and satisfied, but you still have energy. You can still do things. It's not, you don't have to hit the couch after. So tons more. Let's see, everything, skin, energy, immunity, weight, reversing lifestyle diseases that you might have.
Okay.
So there's a bunch. There's no negative to being plant-based.
So I'm trying to start running again, and I've found that being plant-based, I have like eating meat. I'm like, yeah, I ain't going nowhere. But being plant-based accidentally, I feel that, more energy, and I feel less lethargic after I eat. Going for an after dinner run is a possibility.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So even so it used to be veganism or being plant-based, like the thought or the avatar of the person that you would think who's vegan or plant-based is, like a skinny, like hipster, or you know what I'm saying? But now you're seeing that the effects of, athletic performance, recovery. So there's so many different athletes now that are championing the plant-based diet for their, and I mean high performance. I mean professional athletes. I mean from MMA fighters to NBA players, to NFL players. Almost like 10 or 11 of the Tennessee Titans NFL team have gone plant-based. Kyrie Irving, so many NBA players, NFL, Olympic athletes, marathon runners, are now incorporating more of a plant-based diet, if not a total plant-based diet, and seeing gains. One of the strongest men in the world, who's from Germany, he's plant-based. So the whole, you got to be skinny, and you're not going to be strong, and you need protein. Yeah, you can get all the protein you need from this diet. So it's really cool just seeing like the shift now to, kind of it not being something that's super on the fringes, but it's becoming more and more talked about.
Yeah, like Beyonce is the most influential plant-based person. And Maya's a big advocate too.
Yeah, you have Maya.
Yeah, it's like plant-based can help me sing good. I might start a singing career. So last question. Other than contacting you, and I'll put your link in the comments below, and give me 2 books that people could read to educate themselves. I know you said you read a lot of books.
Yeah, for sure. There's several books, but I would actually give you 2 documentaries. One of them is based on the renowned book by Dr. T. Colin Campbell called The China Study. That's the book, but the documentary is called Forks Over Knives. And that's a really, really good resource. And the other resource, which is another documentary, is called What the Health. And I believe you can find both of those on YouTube for free. So
that's my favorite price.
Yeah, free 99. So that's what I would direct people to, because just seeing the visuals and just seeing a lot of different people's stories and everything, it's really good information.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for talking with me. I think you've done our 15 minutes, but sue me. Thanks for talking with me, James. I'll give everyone your information. It's been great. Thank you.